Hey Internet, it's Drew, and I'm going to take you on a tour of press conference day at E3 2013. First things first, proper footwear. The most important thing. Some snacks, badges, a bunch of confirmation emails so I can prove that they need to let me into these things, some Purell, a wallet, extra batteries for this camera, my street passing device, a Sony wristband, sunglasses, and that's all going to go in there, my day pack. This is our direct feed kit. So in addition to having a camera, which Vinny's bringing, we're gonna have this guy. Solid state hard drive. At the press conferences, they'll have SDI drops, just a cable for everybody to plug into. And it'll go right in there. And then I will hit this button. It is 7:56. So I am going to meet Vinny downstairs in 4 minutes. And we're gonna head over to the first stop today, Microsoft.
Buddy.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Alright. Hello.
Alright, Vinny, so how does this stuff usually go?
Usually we get bounced around like 4 or 5 times. Different lines.
Morning.
Hi, how are you?
You guys actually...
Thank you.
Broadcast barricade back here. Yes.
Thank you.
Keyword is risers. Caravella.
What outlet are you? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2013 Xbox Global Media Briefing.
Metal Gear Solid 5, the new Xbox 360. 2 free game downloads.
World of Tanks.
Your Drivatar learns from how you race.
Project Spark.
Let's rock and roll.
Smart Glass to Smart Glass with Smart Glass Upload Studio. Partnership with Twitch. All the friends. Real money. Dead Rising 3.
The Witcher 3. You guys rock!
A new Halo game.
This November in 21 markets around the world at $499 in the US.
And then we'll do this in different permutations 3 more times today. This is a good start.
Alright, where to next?
Well, we have time to kill before EA, so Man.
Shoot some wrap-up stuff.
Yeah, you want to shoot wrap-ups? You want to go to that same place across the street?
Yeah, whatever.
Near that burrito place or something? Rioting. They refuse to take $4.99 plus the answer. No, they're just trying to leave the EA thing where there are food trucks. Trying to get a message to them. Brad's asking where we're meeting up. It's not sending. There's a trillion people here. Okay, I finally fell off the Wi-Fi, so maybe it'll work now.
New Mac Pros. New Mac Pros. Here on OS 7 looks really nice.
I heard the new Mac Pros are $499, you guys!
Yeah, right. That'd be awesome.
Alright, so now I'm going to use this camera to shoot these guys.
And it'll look a little bit like this.
3, 2.
Hey everybody, it's Monday. It's after the Microsoft press conference. It happened down that away. Now we're back over this away to talk about that thing. What they said a price. They said a price.
Not what I
the
expected.
one thing that I thought they would never, ever, ever do.
You don't do that at E3.
Yeah,
but they did.
They did. They said November, and they said $499, which November obviously $499 seems like a lot of money.
One thing I'm focusing on is they called it what, the Day 1 edition,
Yeah.
or I think that gives them wiggle room. Like maybe the subsidy stuff isn't ready. Maybe that gets Sony to like push their foot forward too. Not really sure. I just know that $499. If there are two $499 or equivalent consoles coming out in the fall, that's really dangerous territory for both companies.
Yep.
I always kind of felt that was a realistic price for this thing, or for them to say the price was. I didn't necessarily think that was the right price, but I guess I'm not too shocked. I'm just shocked that they set a price at all.
Yeah. When do you think the subsidy information comes out? Because it has to.
If it exists. I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, that's.
If it doesn't, then I don't.
Well,
know
what
about this.
but what is the contract going to be like? That might not be any better. I mean, I
probably won't.
I might rather just pay them the $500 for one if I were to get one, than to dick around with whatever 2-year plan or whatever else they've got. But that seems like that was the main. Well, what there was very little non-game info. There was that they said unlimited friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which then Major Nelson was out there kind of reposting that and saying unlimited friends, not which they had said 1,000 friends when they unveiled the console. And they also at one point mentioned friends and followers. So it seems like they'll have those concepts. They'll have a follower concept as well. Yeah. They're moving to real money.
Yeah,
obviously.
Microsoft Point's going away.
The fact that you have to make a big deal out of it and then people were excited. It's like, you've been fucking up for 7 years. Like, congratulations, you joined everyone else.
If there's a good time to do it, it's when you change platforms.
Yeah.
I was surprised the Twitch announcement didn't get more fanfare, because that seems like a huge deal.
That's,
Especially as tightly as it seems to be integrated. I mean, having the chat pop up on the side of the screen is
snap view chat stuff seems kind of cool.
Really cool. And I assume, I don't think they said it, but I would assume you'll be able to use the headset that goes into the controller to commentate over the game.
Well, they said they did say Connect, so that thing has microphones in it. It might just be that,
maybe
or both. But yeah, who knows?
That seems like a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in seeing if it ends up being as restrictive as Sony's can potentially be. They said they were going to leave it up to developers if they want to allow streaming or not.
Yeah.
And also what they allow you to stream. Potentially it could be like launch day, hey, you can't stream the ending.
Yeah, or you can
and
disable the boss fights.
And in some ways that stuff makes sense. I get why they get, but that's also probably really easy to spiral out of control and kind of go against the whole reason this stuff has gotten super popular in the last couple of years.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if it's not as good as hooking it up to your computer and streaming it out that way, which is a little more arcane, but tons of people are doing it already. If it's not at least as good as that, but easier, then those people would never switch over and use it. So, but I guess that was most of it, and then the rest of it was just games.
There's a plus.
The
counter to PlayStation Plus,
games. Right?
Assassin's Creed 2, Halo 3, which not that exciting, but that they're getting into this and they're matching them 1-to-1 on a feature parity, that's exciting. It's good for consumers that we get access to historical stuff. But yeah, it's kind of coming at the very end of this machine. You just hope that maybe that carries over into the next one from the start.
Yeah, they just won't have enough games at the start to really like say, hey, here's the free stuff. I mean, they definitely had to wait even with the Vita, but yeah, maybe that's, as the 360 gets cheaper, they can start to kind of play off that whole game library thing. But then I guess most of the rest of it was just games.
Yeah. What was your favorite game? Or what surprised you? Damn.
What surprised me?
You're just.
He's just thinking through all of the games that surprised him.
Or you thought looked cool. I don't know. Give me something, man.
I think Titanfall looks really cool.
Yeah, that gameplay demo looks.
Yeah.
Like the trailer was one thing, but then the gameplay demo really sold it.
Right. Yeah, I think that looks like it could be really awesome.
Like here's how jetpacks and getting in big robots could work in a really fast-paced action setting.
Yeah. I think Below. Could be really good.
That was a good Hearts and Minds like indie get.
Yeah. Good on them to
the Sweary game.
Yeah, Sweary game. D4.
Is that exclusive? Did they say?
I don't think they said exclusive.
Episodic murder mystery. It seemed like it was on a train.
Yeah.
Like
seems like a ghost cop.
I don't know, but that seems like exactly the venue for Sweary's insanity.
Yeah. You were punching a dude in the face. There was a mini game. Like, I'm just glad someone's giving that guy money.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. Yeah. So.
I thought Metal Gear Solid 5 looked fantastic.
Yeah, right. That opening. Right. Yes.
Did not ever expect to say an MGS game.
So ridiculous.
Horse cover.
Fucking stealth horse.
Dynamic horse
skull
cover.
Skull face. And quiet. The sniper who lost her words. Like it's just every bit about it.
Yeah,
is full on what you need. What I want those games to be. In terms of just being over the top in this really dumb way.
At the same time, like it seems like it fits into the Metal Gear chronology in a kind of an exciting way because it looks like it could be a direct
lead up
prequel
to Metal Gear 1.
Yeah. Because it looks like, they straight up mentioned Outer Heaven.
Yeah.
If this is about the founding of Outer Heaven, that's really
exciting.
What
do you think of Kiefer Sutherland?
Cause I'm already a demon.
I didn't really hear a lot of him, but it seemed good.
It seemed totally to fit. It's not David Hayter, but it's like for someone that isn't like super Metal Gear, like I'm gonna transition just fine. I think I can understand the fans being a little upset about the bait and switch. But
I'm sure a lot of that.
It looks so good that I think people are gonna get over it pretty quick.
I'm sure at least half of that casting was just Kojima wanted to work with a famous movie star.
Yeah, sure.
It sounded like he's getting down into a similar register as Hayter, so it's not like super jarring.
Yeah.
To have somebody else doing it.
Yeah.
But I just think the gameplay in that looks like it could potentially be really cool.
Yeah. I think Forza looked really nice.
Yeah.
I think their whole cloud. God, man, this is the
power of the cloud.
I'm so sick of people just saying it works over the internet as cloud. Like it's not like storing your AI profiles and pulling them off.
Yeah,
it's not some huge cloud computing.
It's a dumb buzzword, and they're a big corporation.
It is.
Like those. And it's on TV.
Sure. It's on TV, so they cut all the cursing out of Battlefield 4.
You gotta be kidding.
I could not be less interested in playing what they showed, but
those jets fell off that aircraft carrier. It looked really nice.
Especially with the hardware transition, even a game that you're not personally interested in is still a cool indicator of what can be done on that system.
So how excited are you guys for Killer Instinct?
No, I don't like this.
That was I enjoyed watching the trend on Twitter, which was like, all right, sure, yeah, and then, oh wait, well, he did they Battleship?
You said it was a rare. What?
Rise,
Son of Rome,
yeah.
That was originally a Kinect game, right? Didn't they say?
Yeah, which makes sense that
now it
can be a launch game for Xbox One because it sounded like that game was in development for a pretty decent amount of time.
Which kind of makes sense considering that the design of it looks kind of standard by
it looked
last generation standards. It's just sort of
did not grab me.
Third-person action with QuickTime events and stuff.
Yeah, too many button prompts on screen. Too much no, now you need to hit this. No, you hit this. Now to kill him good.
I applaud any use of historical setting in games because I still don't think there are enough interesting
and historical button colors because it's like the Xbox One controller doesn't the buttons don't look quite like that.
Well, I guess
it's black buttons with the colored letters. So.
Sure. Yep.
Totally different. That was. Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What?
That's not Dead Rising to me. That's not.
I didn't see him earn any PP.
I know.
I didn't see. They built that saw weapon.
Yeah.
There was no Mega Buster. There's the tone of it just feels completely
off.
But I bet its sales potential on an Excel sheet is way up. That's the cynical. Here's what I'm hoping is that this was a better stage presentation to show off a dark, serious, like tons of zombies, open world game, but that hopefully that goofy stuff is still there. It just wouldn't have played as well with the kinds of stuff.
I mean, to be fair, they
just
didn't show any character moments or interaction with NPCs,
Right,
cutscenes,
yeah.
so that stuff could still be in there. But even the setting in those games is part of the absurdity, and this
Right.
was completely flat and uninteresting as a setting.
Yeah, I don't
know. A lot of people on Twitter said, and I would agree, that it's going a lot more Walking Dead than Dead Rising at this point.
Yeah, which, I don't know. Dead Rising has plenty of its own problems, but
yeah.
most of those were mechanical.
Right.
I liked the way that it was dumb.
And in a lot of cases, it was easier. I wouldn't say it was necessarily worth putting up with the problems, but it was easier to put up with them because the game was so unique,
right,
in some really quirky ways.
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope
about
that's not gone.
That's
we'll see.
They did say you'd be able to strap weapons together and do weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe there's.
Yeah, they showed some of that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But yeah, I don't know. Pile of games.
Yeah.
They showed games.
Yeah.
So as they said they would. I don't imagine that quiets any of the other stuff that's going on surrounding that console.
No, and the price isn't going to help.
No, probably not. But some of the games definitely look pretty cool.
Yep.
I did hear that Killer Instinct will be playable at that thing tonight, and some other
Curious to see
games.
what pops up at that thing.
It'll be neat to see that thing for realsies, I guess.
I hope we can, if nothing else, I hope after today people can stop quibbling over hardware specs and just kind of
stuff looks pretty nice.
Pay attention to stuff that actually
kind of figure out how they compare later once there's more multi-platform stuff. But
sure.
We're heading over to EA now, where they're gonna. I guess they'll probably have Mirror's Edge 2 since these guys didn't, right?
Yeah, sure.
We'll see.
I guess Ubisoft will have Prince of Persia since these guys didn't.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Okay.
All right, let's hustle. Yep. We can take a car or we can walk it.
It's like 2 blocks, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Okay.
All right, Vinny.
Yes.
Following these arrows.
Yeah.
We may not have much time to set up and stuff, so I've got my email.
Okay, ready? Barcode? You have the second part of it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we've got 45 minutes.
Thank you. Question will be, do we have assigned spaces or is this a free-for-all? It's a free-for-all.
Don't you worry about getting a drop. I'll try and find a...
Yeah, you got it. That's composite video.
There we go.
Okay. So, it may kind of be hard to believe, but there's no power up here. There's no place to plug in like our direct feed or our cameras or anything. Everybody's got to be on batteries. But my direct feed thing can't be on batteries. It needs power. So I grabbed Vinny's power cable. He's using batteries. And I piped it in from over there all the way over to here, borrowed somebody else's power strip, and now we all have power. So there are no atheist sunrisers. Haha.
You embarrass me, you really do.
This world is torn asunder.
NBA All-Star, Kyrie Irving.
Sort and ship assignments based on threats.
I'm just one fan who loves FIFA.
I've been waiting for this deal for a long
Time! We have 64 players. you might like that one.
We talked about Microsoft already, but then after that was EA in a new location.
Yeah, a whole 2 blocks away.
Yeah, closer to Microsoft, which fits with EA's general thing, kind of in some weird way. Gosh, I feel like they had some pretty good-looking stuff, like mostly expected.
Yeah, they really played it safe, but yeah, everything looked pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think Need for Speed looks like pretty killer.
So is that the quickly becoming tired trope of this E3? Is single-player games that are multiplayer games that are camera pulling out and there's usernames all over the map?
And here's a tablet. I don't know.
Yes, those are the two things. Those are the two things. It's the pull out to reveal, oh, it's multiplayer, and then pull out to reveal someone that had bought the phone game can be in your game.
Do you think those are the like phone versions of those, or just like compendium apps?
It'll be a specific app. I mean, I don't know if it'll end up being a separate game or what, but
I think it'd be weird if you had to like pay for that. But like, because if I want to get my wife to like call in an airstrike on Dead Rising 3, like I want that to just be free.
Is your wife going to do that though? My wife would. If
no
I
one's going to use any of this stuff. That's like that's the secret of all of it.
It's going to be balanced on our laps.
Because we all just sit alone in our rooms playing video games. Yeah, that's what it actually is.
Well, when you put it that way. They showed new Dragon Age. They acknowledged that there continues to be a new Dragon Age.
They showed Morgan, which I understand is a big deal for people who still like those games.
Yeah. So that's
Can I confirm?
that's the camera guy.
Our producer confirms that's the case.
Gosh.
Battlefront.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront. Brief teaser for that.
That was a good teaser.
Yeah,
like,
it was a great teaser.
The game's got to be super early, but it's like so obvious. Just get it out of the way.
We overestimated. They only paid Blur like $200,000 for that trailer. So.
Right, exactly. But that's whatever. That says everything they need to say about what they're doing with Star Wars. Is like, hey, you know what? There's this super obvious game. We're totally making it. Of course.
Yeah.
And then where they go from there, I think, is the interesting part. I think Battlefield 4 looks great, like some of that destruction stuff. Whether it's even if it's just specific parts you can destroy, yes, no. I think that stuff looked really good. As the Battlefield player, producer Vinny. Again, yeah, sure, yeah.
Nobody can stand in front of a helicopter.
Yeah. Sorry, nobody can stand in front of a helicopter for that long. That thing was obviously faked in a lot of crazy ways. But
I thought it was interesting that like, so the Battlefield 4 and Titanfall were at the Microsoft press conference. And the Titanfall one was more impressive because it was this dynamic multiplayer match. It wasn't like scripted single player. Battlefield 4 showed single player, but the more impressive thing was the multiplayer stuff they showed at EA's event.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, just that's really cool that like rather than just being an add-on, it's like, hey, these multiplayer modes are becoming
you got
way more interesting than some of the super scripted single player stuff.
Yeah. I think both those games, I mean, people love Battlefield. I'll continue to be really shitty at Battlefield because that's how it's going to go. But I could probably be okay at Titanfall. That looks like that looks pretty cool.
Yeah. You know what I thought looked okay was that weird Plants vs Zombies action game.
Good frame rate.
Yeah, it looked
Ground
nice.
Warfare.
Like it seemed like Garden Warfare.
Garden Warfare.
It was a pretty good reveal of the title. I don't know. That looks like it could be kind of fun.
It looked like a Orcs Must Die kind of horde mode style thing.
It's a little tower defensey, so maybe we'll move on from that. But,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's coming. It's it's an action game based on a tower defense game, so I guess that makes sense.
Built on Frostbite.
And they should have showed. They should have showed Peggle 2 instead of that.
Yeah. Wow. Like I mean, one of EA's big things was that they're either built on Frostbite or it's built on Ignite, which is
the sports engine.
Are you raising your hand? Oh, okay. We can do that. We can do that in real time.
I don't know how I feel about this really anymore.
I got extreme close-ups over here.
Yeah. You're getting close-ups over there with your camera.
Yeah, the dumb camera.
Okay, great. Mirror's Edge 2, obviously.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy cow.
There's a new mirror. There's a new Mirror's Edge.
all they said was Mirror's Edge, so I don't know what the actual title's gonna be.
They've since said that it's an origin story, so it's basically a reboot. They're setting it. That's why in the teaser she's like getting the tattoos. Like it's ahead of like murder mystery conspiracy stuff.
Well, hopefully,
which was one of the least good parts.
Hopefully, it's before they invented guns.
Yeah, guns were the only problem with that game.
Yeah.
There are guns in the trailer, but at no point does she carry a gun, which hopefully signals everything about that game.
Clearly the same timeline, same art style, same faith. But like they didn't. I don't think they said a platform, did they? And there's definitely no release date.
Press release said everything.
Yes. Okay.
So
Like,
I had heard
really
it was
early.
Xbox, but it sounds like it's coming to everything.
It seems like it might be super early.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it was fan service in a press conference. This was mostly, here are the obvious things that are coming that all look pretty good, but not like yeah, and that's what
Yeah.
Star Wars is for, and that's what Mirror's Edge is for. So if that comes
Right.
out in Christmas 2014, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, at least gets people talking, and also stop asking us about that game.
You know, to shift gears a little bit, and just to pay some lip service to sports.
Speed.
Well, actually, I was. Shit. I was going to talk about sports, actually.
I think that they don't have the credibility in the basketball arena right now to have like slam poetry.
Where hard physics meets art exhibit meets advanced analytics like, look, ma, both hands. No coding tricks or motion scandals. The game
They shipped a bunch of basketball games the last few years, right?
No, they made a bunch of basketball games,
right.
but they didn't ship any of them.
Yes.
So for them to get out there and say, like, we think dribbling is important, and then like, okay, yeah, it probably is, but can you guys execute on that? Like, they should have had more to show on basketball, I think. UFC is exciting, but they didn't show any of it really.
You know what I like about Madden? I couldn't see the animations like jerking from one to the next anymore. You know, it's like when a dude like juked around a dude. You know, it wasn't all like frame jerk into animation.
It almost looks like Assassin's Creed tech, like that style of like brushing past people, like the crowd
But
stuff.
it was the first football game I ever seen where that actually looked a little kind of natural.
Yeah. So I think overall, like EA seemed like they had a pretty good lineup. You know, like expected games in a lot of cases, but you know,
solid.
Some of that stuff will probably be pretty good.
For like the beginning of like a generation where like oftentimes we don't even see this kind of stuff. Like it's like the way that everything is getting split, it seems like we're getting a little bit more of a peek at what's coming, and that's exciting. Like it makes these transitions like a little more fun.
It's nice to see that as they are actively seeking a new CEO, they kind of have their shit together. Like, it seems like they have a plan. You know?
It seemed like they were executing. Yeah.
Any new franchises though from EA?
No.
Peggle 2.
Yeah, no new franchises. That's
Mirror's Edge 2 might as well be a new franchise. The amount of times we get sequels to that.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Then after that was Ubisoft, back in their same old location and
held in Brad's.
Oh, you want a break?
Yeah, we got a break.
Okay, all right.
Break. Sensors overheating.
All right. So that was EA. Yeah, pretty cool show. Back to you in the studio.
Next is Ubisoft. We're just gonna get there by the skin of our teeth if we get there at all. So we're gonna try and go back to the hotel, and we have a car service that'll take us back there. So we're gonna be in there from about 3 to 4 o'clock, and then we'll probably need a pickup from the same location. I'll give you a call.
I don't understand why I can turn this key. It's never happened.
All right. We can go down a little bit and then just jump out. See how far they let you go.
So for this one, I got the sticks and the bag. Vinny's got the direct feed kit and the cables.
Yep. All right, let's go make the show.
Yes!
OMG!
They're all normal size. I am a mutant.
We went to Ubisoft. They had a press conference.
You went.
There were video games.
You went to
held in Brad's hotel room.
Yeah, me and Patrick were sitting in an air-conditioned hotel room. I was eating crackers, watching that thing.
What kind of crackers?
Oh yeah, what kind of crackers?
Cheese crackers.
Well, I was in the front row center of Ubisoft.
I heard they had pretty good Wi-Fi at that thing.
That's Wi-Fi of the show.
Oh.
Ubisoft was Wi-Fi of the show by a long shot. I could connect to it. I was in our chat chatting with people during it.
Like 5 minutes in, they got Jerry Cantrell on stage playing guitar, and everybody says the Wi-Fi is great. I'm like, fuck, I should have gone.
Didn't have an invite, but you should have gone.
You could have gotten into that. It wouldn't have been.
Wouldn't have been a big trouble.
Yeah, with that since it's everyone just rushing over there from EA at the last minute. Like everyone, like we went through the line. Like I got stamped. I got my 2-star stamp, which let me get up front. Yeah, but there was always such chaos there that you could have just walked in. It would have been fun.
Anyway,
but whatever. Yeah, they had some decent stuff. Like, it got real weird in the middle, and I forgot where I was for a while, and they were talking about interactive television, and I was like, what, did I end up at Comdex circa 1992? or what? But, I don't know. There's a Rabbids TV show coming out, and that's all I remember about that. But yeah, Rocksmith and Jerry Cantrell was there. The game will play along with you, so you will kind of jam. That's the theory anyway. I don't know if that'll work, but it's kind of a neat idea, I guess. The Crew, which is their driving game.
So that's
it's Ivory Tower?
Yes, which I think is Test Drive Unlimited, guys?
Yeah, I think that's what I was reading. Was a bunch of those. Yeah.
Well, Test Drive Unlimited is the game that invented all new games with the. By the way, it's multiplayer.
Yep.
So it makes sense that they would be at the forefront of that, I guess. Oh, their off-road, on-road, like their car mods, I thought looked really cool, and some of that stuff sounds potentially neat.
Yeah.
But the game there, I mean, it was like Tom Clancy's The Division. What do you think about the name?
It seems all right. I like the idea that they are willing to make new Clancy games. It's not like Ghost Recon: The Division or something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna. Well, then it would have been Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon: The Division. Like those are all. That's all Clance. That is all full-on Clance.
I know, but I mean they're not tiering it. It's like we're establishing a whole new branch of the Clancy family tree here.
Well, they're making this sound like it is an MMO. Like this is a separate, persistent online world, which I didn't really get the impression that that's what it was from what they played.
I think that's
until they pulled out and whoa!
But I think it's a good thing, right? Like that's the problem with these games that like PlanetSide or what's the one with the TV show that's just on Sci-Fi? Defiance, where it's like conceptually they're interesting and they're trying some cool things, but they're shitty shooters.
Right.
And this game looked like it might get closer to bridging that gap of like the promise of playing with tons of people, what you get out of that, but also
it's getting a low angle. Don't worry about it.
You don't pay attention to me.
Sorry. But make it a more fun game to play.
He's getting a low angle now too. It's all low angles.
Wait,
everyone follow me. Everyone follow me.
Now can I just be menacing up here? I think the Division looks pretty good. But God, man, could they have done another description of a game of just like the world is going bad, man? And
international trade will stop. The oil will dry up. The stock market will collapse.
You gotta get safe.
Everyone will be a potential threat.
It was crazy when Ron Paul came out on stage and was like, "I'm the new head of Ubisoft."
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Welcome to the libertarian wing of video games.
Wait, what?
It just feels like they're like consistently they look at like American paranoia.
See?
They're watching, man.
I didn't mean to say anything.
Prism, it's coming. It should have been Tom Clancy's The Prism. I should have just renamed it like yesterday.
The good, I saw a bunch of XP flying all over the place in that game.
Yeah.
Potentially the bad, it seemed like you have to pump a whole lot of bullets into guys to bring them down, which makes me wonder if they're almost going for a Borderlands style, like you got to rank up to kill guys.
But when they went and looked at that gun, it had a damage range on it, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
I don't know, like that could be really neat. So I thought that looked good. Aisha Tyler seemed to do a pretty good job.
And I know, I'm a giantess. I'm literally like two people put into one. I know, you're feeling LeBron James for me. It's okay, I understand.
They didn't show much of South Park, which
is
a bummer.
The trailer was good.
Yeah,
the trailer was really effective.
It was pretty good, yeah. But from the 20 minutes or whatever it was that I saw, South Park looked really awesome before the show, and I'm looking forward to that now.
I didn't see the Splinter Cell trailer. Did that?
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was just this cut together mess of just like sliding. It was like a 24 episode of sliding panels and Sam Fisher and whatever, And
it brings back the asymmetrical multiplayer.
It does. Yeah, Spies. I played that a while ago. They raised the player count, so it's a bigger match, but it's basically the same style of Spies versus Mercs.
Okay.
And that seemed really fun.
There's
So-
people that love that. I know.
Totally.
I'm
Yeah.
one of those people.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
So he says.
Yeah. I'll play some with you later, Brad.
Okay.
It's not a. There's no jungling in that game.
You can't last shoot.
No, there's no last shooting.
Maybe there is last shooting. How do we know?
Well, I guess it's,
Okay. Yeah.
I played it and it didn't seem like there was, but
Well, so I guess you know.
So there's that.
You weren't looking for it.
I wasn't looking for it, so I don't know what to look for. But that's Ubisoft, and you can look for us talking about the rest of the press conferences on GiantBomb.com. Or right after this, I don't know.
Email say anything special about broadcast?
It says you're confirmed for broadcast.
How about the one from Mary?
There'll be a separate entrance for broadcast media.
Yeah.
I've never been down here.
We've never done subterranean risers.
Right.
You never done lowers before?
Thank you. There's different areas for each country or region.
Yeah.
Adam voice. Hello, everyone.
Wow, dude.
Man, you look sick. Not bad, huh?
Don't need to be connected online.
A PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
What makes a good shooting spot?
Something nice in the background, enough light and quiet. Enough quietness. We've got all this craziness happening in the background. All the crowds over there. And here. So, also having your talent, the people, it's pretty good.
Yeah?
It's usually you want to shoot where they are, so this might be the worst spot I've picked. Yeah. I don't know where everybody went.
You guys want to shoot a video or?
Yeah.
Yeah, no?
I'll be in video.
I'm going to record your video while you're recording my video.
And then Sony, but we'll stop. Hey, so that's EA. And then three, two.
Sony.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Jeez.
So so they put on a show It was real
drama.
Crazy.
Long.
Yeah, a long
hours.
show.
Yeah.
But that's what you get when you're not on television. You can go long. You can start late. All that other
I mean,
stuff.
I missed the news for this. So.
Yeah. There you go. So, but it seems like all the news was here, and the story is they're not fucking around.
Yeah.
God damn. Man.
It's really impressive because like top to bottom, they are philosophically the opposite of what Microsoft is trying to do. Like they're still incorporating a lot of those things, like movies and music and services, but it's not what they're
some video games.
But it's not what they're like saying like this is what we're putting the state like.
And
games is to the side on Microsoft, and E3 was like their way of saying, like, hey, we're still doing all that. Like where Sony's just like games.
Like
games.
Sony got a little awkward at one point when Sony Pictures came out, and it was like we're curating movies for gamers.
Curated for gamers. For gamers.
We get it. Like you care about the games, but you're obviously gonna have this other shit. You don't. Yeah. You don't need to tell me it's like. I don't know. I feel like everything we had heard leading up to this was very much like the publishers are calling the shots. Like there's the online pass. Like if Sony doesn't do what Microsoft is doing, there'll be some reduced form of it because that's what the publishers want. And I feel like there's still a way for online passes and stuff like that to exist, but at least at the console level, like they just came out and said. Fuck that, fuck this, fuck you, $399, hold out your hand. Hold out your hand. Hold out your hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that.
I got the microphone now.
Vinny would yell if you dropped the mic for real.
Well, they caught it, so we don't have to worry about that.
It's all good. I wonder if the bet they are making is that disc purchases are just going to matter less and less as this generation goes along. I mean,
you mean Microsoft or
no,
Sony?
No, Sony. So I mean, obviously, it is a gesture of goodwill to the user base, but also on the back end, if people out of convenience start buying more and more stuff from PSN where those same restrictions are in place, ultimately it really won't matter to their bottom line.
The thing they're looking at is that the kind of people who are willing to spend $400 or $500, sorry, spoilers, $400 or $500 on a game console in the first year are dudes who play games, not people who watch TV and do all the shit that Microsoft was talking about. So they came out and said, hey, look, we have the games that you want to play, we have all the weird indie stuff that you like, and we're going to be $100 cheaper than the other guy, and you can sell the games back to whoever you want when you're done. They know that in order to get the initial install base, they have to get those guys.
And even if people don't sell their games back, like just them being out there and saying like we're into freedom.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Their version of freedom, obviously.
You have evil on one side, and then we're Sony. I mean, that was
so weird.
I
know.
know.
It used to be the other way.
Save your money, kids. It's going to be really expensive.
Sony was evil and Sega that were the good guys, and then Sega fucked it up. It's been a weird decade.
I mean, it's almost like just like with the last generation, there's another inversion taking place based on like momentum and hubris, where Microsoft is on top and thinks it can get away with anything right now.
Are you saying that they're making it version 2? Because if so, I don't want any part of anything that they're doing. No.
We're not talking about that right now.
I have to, I haven't done any reporting on it, but I have to, based on what I was hearing between when we heard about Microsoft stuff, Sony they weren't sure, like this was all decided in the last couple of weeks. And I have to imagine the calculation they made is whatever they thought they might lose from third parties being like, if you don't put this in place, like we're going to give X, Y, and Z to Microsoft. Whatever they lose isn't enough given that the ground they have to make up with gamers, and where they use the terms like loyalty, if they're looking at the next 5 years as a bloodbath, if they want to come out the other side, they want to come out with a legion of people that are loyal to their platform.
Are you talking about ground they need to make up from the PS3?
Everything, just like ground with like people that are buying other devices, like they need to collect as many people as they can underneath the hood, and giving them these concessions, even if in the long term they don't mean that much, is super important when you have the launch momentum. Like look what's happening with the Wii U and how quickly it sputtered out.
And they managed to lay out so many different things, so many different punches, to where when they finally got to the point where they said like, by the way, you'll need to be a PlayStation Plus member to play online on PS4, people were just like, whatever.
I'm not even sure they noticed.
Well, Vinny and I were up front, and they let some fans into this event. Like they said, people could line up Friday or whatever
40
to
people.
get in.
We met one.
Oh, was it 40 people?
Yeah.
Well, all around us, I think, because it was like an old school Nintendo press conference up there. People jumping out of their seats like the Holy Ghost was entering them or some shit. It was wild, man. It was scary up there at times. It was like, when Kingdom Hearts 3 came on, it was fucking pandemonium. It was people just going like, there was a woman that just went, "Ah!" It was just like, it was fucking insane. And I'm sitting there like looking at it like before, Benny had never sat down at a press conference before because normally he's on the riser doing legitimate work. And he asked me, so what's the protocol in here? I said, clap for people you respect, not for games. That's it. If there are people you respect coming to the stage, you can clap for them.
Did you guys clap for Adam Boys?
I did clap for Adam Boys.
We clap for Adam
right.
Boys.
We'll move back
It's
here.
the first time I've clapped at a press conference in years.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, they're looking at people spending $500, and if you're choosing between the shiny new iPad that Apple's going to roll out in October or September, and an Xbox or a PS4, what do you buy right now if you play games? Do you wait until next year for PS4 or Xbox, or do you buy that? That's the question that everybody's going to ask when holiday rolls.
Yeah, and I mean, with the price being where it is, and them having what appears to be plenty of games lined up for launch. Yeah. Even if some of those look pretty standard, I mean, like Killzone looks all right, but it doesn't look like some world ending.
Another Killzone.
Like, you don't look at it and go like, yeah, you do not jump out of your seat Kingdom Hearts style at that. And Kingdom Hearts will probably end up being multi-platform.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 now, because fuck it.
The 20-year-old naming scheme doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, no, because it's been delayed so fucking long that they can't call it what it used to be called.
Oh. That was a great.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
And I was sitting there.
The game looks cool. I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that game. It looks like a Japanese developer trying to make Uncharted.
Yeah.
That was kind of how I came out of it. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll play that game.
Right.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Japanese. Yeah. Well, whatever. Kingdom Hearts. That's why that part was scary for me, because I was sitting there going like, this looks like shit because it looks like a Kingdom Hearts game, and everyone around me is just going, "Ah!" And it. Yeah, I feared for my life in a couple of spots in that thing, and I don't know. It was just fucking weird.
What do you guys think of the way it looks? I don't really like the slantiness. Yeah, the.
It looks like it's a little broken. Like just like you dropped it and it chunk.
It looks severe.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I think the angle is a little much for me. I think that they could rein it in a little bit.
I like that kind of intensity in the stuff that I put in my entertainment center and never look at again.
I want it to be extreme, you guys. I want to live life on the edge.
I'll paint yours green if you want. Or blue. I mean, orange.
I want skeleton blue. I got one of those clear blue PS2s.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
If I could do something like that.
Yeah, get me
one of your side services.
Yeah, we can make that happen. We'll get out the laser cutter. I'll make you a laser cut case for your PS4. It'll be just a box that the PS4 goes.
We're heading to Tech Shop when we get back to the city.
Yeah. So. I mean, a pile of games, like they had that whole run of indie games in the middle. I think the 17-bit game looks killer.
What a great way to present that stuff, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, like, in terms of, like, again, like, gathering the army, like, getting loyalty, like, that was a way of just, like...
Yeah, it was...
Like, that was just a shot across the bow. Like, these games aren't necessarily going to move machines, but it's all about perception and messaging, and they come away just looking as, like... Come under our umbrella. We got you.
Those games might not move machines, but those similar efforts that they're doing on the Vita probably actually will make a real difference at some point once they get enough of them. So it's smart that they're doing it. I mean, Microsoft I think showed more along those lines this morning than I would have expected with Below and that sort of stuff. So they're both kind of dabbling out there, but Sony definitely seems more committed to that weird shit, and that weird shit is increasingly where it's at now.
And you only need one weird thing to really take off to help define your platform, and they seem to be just sort of spreading their bets amongst more games.
Well, and if one of those weird things hits, then the next big thing is going to be based on one of those weird things.
Yeah.
So surprised not to see any free-to-play stuff for this thing, though.
That's true, yeah. I guess there wasn't anything up there like that. I think some of that might be at the show. But yeah, I guess there was none of that. No Prince of Persia at all today. That had been reasonably heavily rumored. Yeah. But Transistor was up on stage. Yeah. That was cool to see that. That looked good at PAX. Yeah, I don't know.
Microsoft's got a messaging problem for the rest of the week, and I am super curious to see the scrambling that happens when those interviews start tomorrow.
What interviews?
Well,
they fucking canceled them all.
Not all of them.
Not yet.
But that's what I mean. Like, I don't even know how you answer some of those questions. I mean, I do know you like your boilerplate, like, well, we have more media partners in the NFL. Like, I already know what those statements are going to look like.
Right.
But there's not, like, what can they say? Because they can't make sweeping changes to their price or business model
they can't blink right now
week.
and go, well, we were fucking around on the price thing, so we
Do you think that what did they call that? The thing that they put the $4.99 on this morning, was it the day one
day
edition?
one edition.
Do you think they put that up there as an out for themselves, where they can say later on, like, that was for the super fancy Founders Club box?
People lose their shit when you do that.
Here's the $3.99 regular day edition.
They're already taking pre-orders, so.
Yeah, I pre-ordered one. I'll pre-order a PS4 tonight. I get those things showing up.
Did they show anything to use the camera today? I didn't see anything.
For Sony?
For Sony.
No.
That's not in the box now, right?
No, I mean that's
that's
their $100. I would assume.
How they got
like,
to that price, or how they even enabled that price. Secondhand, but sounds like that price, that slide they made that today.
Okay.
So, yeah, hot last minute business. It's fucking.
That's exciting.
It's on.
This is so crazy.
It is on.
Like I would have thought that they would have kept it humble or whatever, but
they were humble until Trent dropped the mic
right,
at the end.
Trent
and then
came
it was
out
like,
and said, like, by the way, fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real fucking wild. So that was a real old school crazy E3 press conference. Like, games are weird again. That's fucking cool. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
People's backs are up against the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Like, everyone's desperate, and they're just like, get these knives sharp. We got to go.
That's exciting. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's good for everyone, right? Like, what Microsoft did forced Sony into a corner, and then something they probably wouldn't have done unless they were forced to, they did do, and then everybody wins.
Speaking of knives, do you think Gabe Newell is sitting up in Seattle right now, sharpening his, just going, like, just watching all this?
Sharpening the Steambox knife. Whatever. There's already so many PCs out there.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mean they're going to put out a box. I'm just saying they got that shit locked up.
I mean, Gabe doesn't give a fuck.
I know.
Because Sony just wants to stop Microsoft and vice versa.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
The PC is neutral territory, so
Exactly.
all those games come out there. And
totally my point is that if these guys are at each other's throats to the point that they're both dead after a couple of years, like, you know, that's more and more people defecting to the PC. I don't know.
Or tablets.
Yeah.
buy a hell of a video card for $500, guys.
Yeah.
I already have a hell of a video card.
Yeah, I know. For $1,000, you could buy a real hell of a video card.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. So that's it. These press conferences are over. Nintendo's got their thing tomorrow. We'll play some games. We'll watch some videos. And
talk to some people.
Yeah. We'll start talking to people and figure out what everybody else thinks of all this. Jeez.
Yeah.
Also, I'm really sunburned.
You are really sunburned.
How did that even happen?
Should have gone to Ubisoft. Wouldn't have that sunburn. Dick.
So I guess that's kind of it for press conference day. This is us heading back from the Sony press conference after the day's end. And now I'm back at the GameSpot War Room, putting the finishing touches on this humongous video. It's a long one, but I'm getting there. And this is actually me coming in this morning to the convention center. I guess eventually we'll catch up to the present. Yeah, you're just walking into the convention center, and that's it's the War Room.